Engagement rings are one of the biggest expenses in a relationship. And most people, when they buy one, they overpay by hundreds or even thousands of dollars without even realizing it. So in this video, my AI assistant Tiara and I are going to show you how to navigate the tricky world of diamond pricing, how to find the perfect ring without breaking the bank, and avoid common traps that really, kind of drive up the costs. And stick around too, because I'm also going to reveal the one tactic that 90% of people overlook that could save you more than the cost of the ring itself. So Tiara, how do you want to start this off?
Let's start with tip number 1. Set a realistic budget.
Okay, well, that sounds good to me because, well, without a budget, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure anyway. So forget about the old 3 months salary rule. It's outdated and really doesn't consider your financial situation. Instead, take a close look at your finances. So consider your income, your savings, and any debt that you might have. Think about your future goals too, because if you're saving for or planning a wedding, your engagement ring shouldn't put you under a ton of financial stress. A good rule of thumb here is to allocate about 5 to 10% of your annual income for the ring. But remember, the value of the ring, it really isn't in its price tag, right? It should be in the love and commitment that it represents. And your partner should appreciate a thoughtful choice that doesn't put both of your financial future at risk. And remember that this is just a guideline, and everyone, if you have different circumstances, all of us do, that's understandable. Now, if you want to know a secret that could potentially save you hundreds, if not thousands on your ring, this next section here that I'm going to jump into, it reveals a simple choice that many people overlook, but it really can make a huge difference in price.
Let's move on to tip number 2. Choosing a less expensive metal.
Now, when it comes to engagement rings, the choice of metal can actually make a significant impact on the overall cost. So while platinum and white gold are popular choices, they're also among the most expensive options. But there are cheaper metals available. So first, you could consider 14 karat gold instead of 18 karat, which is the most common. So 14 karat is more affordable and it's actually more durable than 18 karat. It contains 58.3% pure gold compared to 75% pure gold and 18 karat gold. So it makes it less expensive, but visually it's really just as nice and long lasting. Shut up, Peyton. Next, you could look into rose gold. So rose gold has become increasingly popular and it can also be less expensive than white gold or platinum. Or you can explore sterling silver. So for a truly budget-friendly option, sterling silver, it can be a great choice. It's less expensive than the other options that I already mentioned, but it has a beautiful bright white appearance. You can also consider palladium. So this metal is in the same family as platinum, but it's less dense, making it more affordable. It also has a similar appearance to platinum, and one perk of it is that it's also hypoallergenic. Now keep in mind that by opting for a less expensive metal, you could potentially allocate more of your budget towards a higher quality diamond or a larger stone, right? And this is what most people really notice anyway when they look at your ring. Now, speaking of diamonds, our next tip here might actually surprise you.
Diamonds? More like shiny pieces of rock for idiots.
Yeah, we got it, Tiara. Robots don't appreciate diamonds. Just chill. All right, so this is a simple trick, but it could actually save you even more money without sacrificing the wow factor of your ring.
Tip number 3. Opt for a smaller carat size.
Okay, thank you, Tiara, for just getting that out there. So when it comes to engagement rings, many people, they fixate on the carat weight of the diamond. However, opting for a slightly smaller carat size can actually lead to a significant savings without sacrificing the look of the ring itself. So here's why this works, right? So diamond prices, they increase exponentially with size.
Size doesn't matter when your wallet's empty.
Okay, she definitely isn't wrong on that one, you guys, it's true. So for example here, a 1 carat diamond, it might cost $5,000, while a 0.9 carat diamond of the same quality could be around $4,000. And that's a 20% discount for a barely noticeable difference in size. Next, you also want to focus on the cut and quality over the size. So a smaller, high quality diamond with an excellent cut can often look more brilliant and more beautiful than a larger, lower quality one. Also, make sure that you consider the finger size.
That's what she said.
So a smaller diamond can actually look larger on a petite hand. So take your partner's finger size into account when choosing the carat weight, because if it's really, really too big for their hand, it might look a little bit awkward anyway. And lastly, if you're set on a certain look of the diamond, but want to save some money, consider doing a halo setting. So a halo of small diamonds surrounding a center stone can actually make it appear up to a half a carat larger, because people, when they look from far away, they just see that glimmer anyway. That's all that they really care about. And remember that the average person, they can't tell the difference between a 1 carat and a 0.9 carat diamond anyway, but your budget definitely will. Now I have to say, if you thought that choosing a smaller carat size was a clever way to save that I just mentioned, the next tip here that I'm gonna go over is a shopping strategy that can actually open up a whole new world of options and potentially save you even more money.
Let's move on to tip number 4. Shop online for better deals.
So online shopping has really changed the way that we pretty much buy everything, and engagement rings, they are no different. So shopping online for a ring, it offers significant advantages over traditional brick and mortar stores, right? So for instance, you can get lower prices. So online retailers, they often have lower overhead costs because they don't have physical stores. So it allows them to offer more competitive prices. You could potentially save 20 to 40% compared to traditional jewelry stores just by shopping online. Pretty easy to do. Next is there's a wider selection. So online stores, they typically have a much larger inventory, which gives you more options to find the perfect ring within your budget. Also, there's easy comparison. So you can quickly compare prices, styles, and specifications across multiple retailers, helping you make an informed decision, in the comfort of your own home. And there's also detailed information. So most online jewelers, they'll provide a comprehensive detail about every one of their diamonds, including certifications and high resolution images and 360-degree videos as well. Also, there's pressure-free shopping. So take your time to research and decide without feeling the rush of salespeople, because nothing says, romantic like someone just leaning over a counter asking if you have any questions every 2 minutes. That said, you need to be extra diligent about where you're doing your online ring shopping to make sure that you don't get scammed. So in order to do this, I recommend that you do a number of things. So first is stick to reputable online jewelers with positive customer reviews and clear return policies. Also ensure that the diamond comes with a certificate from a respected gemological institute like GIA or AGS. Those are kind of the governing bodies of this stuff. Now, if you think that shopping online is a pretty smart idea, which I hope you do, just wait until you hear the next money-saving strategy here, which actually it coincides with online shopping and brick and mortar locations as well.
Next is tip number 5. Time your purchase strategically.
So believe it or not, the timing of your engagement ring purchase can significantly impact the price that you're going to pay, right? So starting off in how to, obviously save money with it, right? So shop during off-peak seasons. So avoid major holidays like Christmas and Valentine's Day when demand and the prices are really high, right? Instead, consider shopping in July or August when the jewelry industry typically sees slower sales. Next, you want to take advantage of annual sales. So just like everything else, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they often feature some great jewelry deals. And some jewelers will also offer discounts during the wedding season, which is typically June to September, to attract, other engaged couples as well. Next, try to get some end of quarter bargains, right? So many jewelers, they have sales quotas to meet, just like any other business. So shopping at the end of a quarter, so March, June, September, December, it might lead to better deals as salespeople, they're gonna be more willing to negotiate with you just to kind of hit their numbers, right? And fourth, you wanna watch for inventory clearance. So January and July are often when jewelers are going to clear out old inventory to make room for new styles. So that said, obviously it's a great time to consider buying a ring. And fifth, consider buying during economic downturns. This is a big one. So jewelry prices, they often drop during economic slowdowns as demand decreases. So obviously take advantage of this, right? If you can afford it, so that you can get a great deal. So this next section here, it's about a little secret in the diamond industry that I actually did myself, and it can save you a ton of money with very little downside.
Tip number 6. Look for slightly imperfect diamonds.
So when most people shop for diamonds, they're all about finding that perfect, flawless stone. But here's a little secret. So going for a diamond with, tiny imperfections, it can save you some big money, and chances are that no one will even notice. Diamonds are graded from flawless, which is crazy expensive, all the way down to included, which, yeah, you could see some flaws, right? But here's where it gets interesting. So there's a sweet spot kind of in the middle that's called eye clean diamonds. So these are usually graded SI1 or SI2, which stands for slightly included, right? With those, most people can't see the tiny imperfections without a magnifying glass, and usually these diamonds are about 20 to 30% cheaper than the higher clarity grades. And one little trick here, look for diamonds where the tiny flaws are kind of near the edges, because once it's actually set in the ring, you'll never see them anyway. Now, our next tip on the list here is even more creative. It's kind of about, outside the box thinking, if you will, to get a ring that's not only cheaper, but is truly unique.
Moving on, we have tip number 7. Prioritize cut over other factors.
So if you're shopping for an engagement ring, you've probably heard about the 4 C's of diamonds, right? So there's cut, color, clarity, and carat. Well, here's the thing. If you want a diamond that really sparkles and shines, cut is truly your best friend. The truth is, you could have a huge diamond with perfect color and clarity, but if it's cut poorly, it'll just look like a dull piece of glass. So here's why cut is so important.
Cut matters, unlike your pathetic attempts at romance.
Okay, Tiara. You know that they're planning on getting engaged, right? What do you know about emotion? I'm sorry, she really gets on my nerves sometimes, I'm sorry. But like I was saying, here's why cut is so important, right? So first is that it determines how well the diamond reflects light. Next, it can make a diamond appear larger than it actually is. And next, it can mask slight imperfections in color or clarity. Now, for the record, if you're on a budget, just go for a slightly smaller diamond with an excellent cut, rather than a larger one with a poor cut. The difference in sparkle will be night and day. And at the end of the day, you just want a ring that's going to catch the light and turn heads. So focus on that more than anything else, and I promise your significant other will be happy. Now, I said in the intro that I'd be revealing the one tactic that 90% of people overlook that could save you more than the cost of the ring itself. And I really wasn't bluffing by that statement either. So here it is, we'll let Tiara take it away.
Our final tip is to consider diamond alternatives.
Oh my God, she wasn't sarcastic. Okay, so you've been thinking diamonds are the only way to go, right? Well, so long as your significant other is okay with it, it's actually worth considering diamond alternatives, right? So first is moissanite. So this is a great diamond alternative. It's almost as hard as a diamond, but it sparkles even better than a diamond. So if you're considering this, it can reduce the price by roughly 10% for a similar size. Also, you could consider colored gemstones. So sapphires, they come in all sorts of colors, and rubies are really pretty. Let's not forget about emeralds. If you want to go green, there's a lot of options out there, right? These can be way cheaper than diamonds and add a unique pop of color. So I'd say to definitely speak with your significant other about this though, as you want to make sure that you buy them something that they'll truly love. Fucking stumbling on my words here. And lastly, you could go with lab-grown diamonds. Now, don't sleep on this option, and hear me out. Lab-grown diamonds, they are chemically identical to mined diamonds, but they cost about 30 to 40% less. And they are actually diamonds, but they're made in a lab. Plus, there's no child labor that's involved. People aren't destroying the earth to get them. There's actually a lot of positive to these. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, if I go with one of these alternatives, will it look as good? And in many cases, yes. And here's the truth. Most people, they can't tell the difference between a diamond and some of these alternatives anyway. The best part about this whole strategy is that by going with an alternative, you might be able to get a much larger stone or a more elaborate setting with a better cut. It's all about what matters to you and your partner. So just make sure that you fully discuss all the options before you buy anything so that you understand kind of your parameters on what you can get. Now, if you're looking to save on an engagement ring, you probably want to build up your fund to buy one. And the best way to do that is to cut back on other areas and save some money. Well, I have some good news on this, as I can help, because groceries, as I think we all know, are one of the biggest expenses for everyone. And I have a video that explains how to save on them right here. And if that video just doesn't seem right for you, check out this other option instead. But before you click on either of them, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel to unlock financial success one AI chat at a time. Thanks so much for watching.